You're right kids, it's Raasclark, and today we're covering every single artifact and boss terminal location on Fjordur, with a tour through each cave and coordinates given for each, which I'll be leaving timestamps for you to get to the one you want. So let's get into it. So first up is Artifact of the Strong, just north of the Redwoods in the Bear Caverns at lat 9.9, lon 84.3. Probably one of the more difficult caves to get to, associated with swamp caves on other maps because it's full of dirty flying insects and arthros, spiders and boas, with bears along the way guarding their precious loot. Of course, a honey cave filled with all the honey you can imagine, a bit like the honey spot on Crystal Isles, with two different routes that will eventually lead you to the final area, possessing the Artifact of the Strong, as well as a bunch of loot crates, making this a great spot for loot farming on top. Next up, we've got the Artifact of the Hunter, found in the northwest region of the map at 3.3, 32.6, hidden behind a rock, revealing the Drenheimer Cave. With a pretty straightforward run, bar a few bats and palovias, and as you reach the edge you will see the Hunter a mere hop, skip and a grapple away. There is an alternative but longer route at 7.6, 39.2, sending you through a tunnel and then a vertical drop through some water, out the other side, through what seems to be a dead end, but there is a passage through again to the same place. Onto the Artifact of the Immune, found on the Volcano Island within Mount Doom Caverns at 90.8, 78.1, with a very visible entrance, easily found and straightforward to get to. Of course, a reference to Mount Doom of Lord of the Rings, sitting bang centre, surrounded by onyx scorpions and arthros, but ready to be claimed. Onto Artifact of the Clever and Pack, two artifacts for one in the same cave at the Molten Caverns at 21.2, 57.4. Now you've got a bit of parkour for this one, playing the floor is lava, but as it opens out it'll split off into two sections, with the left and more straightforward one taking you to the pack, and the right possessing the clever, requiring grapples or something to get over the jump you just made to it. Onto the Artifact of the Brute at the Swamp Island, and as you'd expect, being a swamp cave, you are going to need a gas mask or maybe even some sets of scuba if you've got that, at 49.4, 14.3. Full of those lovely bats, spiders, arthros, leeches down in the depths, with a bit of a turn as you pull out to a jump towards the Artifact of the Brute. Onto Artifact of the Skylord now, within a very frozen fortress. It is super cold in here at 7.7, 23.5, with some super strong bears, apes, palovias and wolves along the way, but a bunch of loot drops as you jump from pillar to pillar, avoiding the death zone floor, turning a corner to finally reach the Skylord. Onto the Cunning now, undersea at the Forgotten Caves at 76.8, 66. Swimming through, you will eventually pop out the other side, find a broken, worn down ship, navigate past plenty of bats and scorpions until it finally pulls out to a grand display of the Cunning. The next one, we're going deep undersea at 3.3, 3.7, deep within a sea cave filled to the brim with plenty of nasty sea creatures and of course eels along the way. But as you reach the other end and dip down a vertical tunnel, there it is, Artifact of the Devourer is there, ready to take home. Onto Artifact of the Massive, with again a sea entrance that you're going to dip down to at 71.8, 1.2. But this is quite a long journey. As you pop out the other end, you've got a vertical scale just to get to the first room, and then you will be introduced to the Nidisheim Labyrinth, full of booby traps along the way as you work out the puzzles to get through, to open doors and finally find the Artifact of the Massive. To face Beyla, one of the three mini bosses that you're going to have to beat in order to beat the final boss, you need to head to 4.2, 47.3, find a cave there, head straight through and you'll come to a beehive honey filled area, hit and activate the terminal in there with your 30 runestones gained from killing alphas, and you can spawn that into beat for your Beyla relic. The next two require you to go to the portal realms found via the portal room at 40.7, 57.5. And heading through there you will be graced with the grand 3 portal doors to all 3 realms. Steinbjorn can be found in a tucked away cave at 77.1, 30.9 with a small crouch space leading to a grand tree and again a terminal to access and summon Steinbjorn to beat and grab that all important Steinbjorn relic. Hati and Skol can be found quite out in the open on Asgard at 20.5, 37.1 with a terminal in front of a seemingly inaccessible portal door, summoning the two wolves to beat for your Hati and Skol relic. Then once you've got those relics, you're going to need to find the original island bosses. Each terminal in separate locations across the map. The Broodmother Terminal can be found in a cave at 57.4, 65.6 with a requirement of apex items and artifacts on top to beat the version you desire. The Megapithecus Terminal cave can be found within the Aberration cave at 56.9, 85.1 and if you head all the way through to the back you'll find the terminal again requiring apex items and artifacts depending on your difficulty. Onto the dragon now, conveniently placed in a cave very reminiscent of Moria from Lord of the Rings with two entrances, but the quickest entrance is at 86.2, 4.5 with an easy to access terminal but a wealth of apex items as you'd expect for the dragon as well as artifacts once again. And then finally, to point out the obvious, though it is worth noting you can do this at any realm terminal as well of course as the obelisk terminals to face the final and ultimate boss requiring trophies from the island bosses. And there we go, that completes the list. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, comment below, please let me know. My name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and as always, peace out.